Hey friends, and welcome to my tutorial where I'll be teaching you how to play the song Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver. So let's begin. I'll be teaching you how to play this song in an authentic Western country style. We will learn all the parts of the song such as the intro, verse, chorus, and even the bridge. I'll be breaking down all the chords for you, a very cool country strumming, and of course this beautiful melody. And as an extra, I included a play along for each one of the parts for you to jam with. So stick around till the very end. So this tutorial is for all levels. It's going to be fun and easy. And just before we begin, don't forget to click the subscribe button. This way you're not gonna miss out on any of the upcoming videos. And now let's start. Part 1, let's learn all the chords together. So in this song we have 5 basic chords, and the order of the chords keeps on changing depending on the part we're playing. So first, let's make sure we know all 5 shapes. C, A-M, G, F, and a B flat, which is a bar chord, and we have to play it only one time in the bridge. If you're a complete beginner and some of these chords are new to you, here's a great exercise for you to connect all the chords. For that, we need to look at the score and see how the chords are connecting. So here's a quick tip about the B flat and how to play it. The B flat chord is a semi-bar chord, so you gotta flatten your index finger and press over the first 2 strings, string 1 and 2 on the first fret. Try to bend the index finger a little bit to the opposite side, right? This way. Make sure the thumb is supporting on the opposite side, and the rest of the fingers, the ring and the middle, press on the remaining frets, which is fret 3 on string 4 and fret 2 on string 3. And this is how the chord should sound like. Here is a great exercise to teach you on how to connect various chord shapes. First, start by learning every chord shape individually. So as an example, let me show you the B flat. So the first thing you want to do is strum the chord downwards. Make sure you don't have any buzz. Then you open the fingers and you strum the open strings. And then quickly bring it back to the position, and each finger needs to find its own fret and string as quickly as possible. And you strum downwards again. And try to do that, try to repeat that with the metronome, something that is very repetitive and in rhythm. I'll give you an example. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And make sure to do that for every chord shape. So here's another great beginner's exercise. Try to play the entire song with a very simple right hand strum. Just one strum for every chord. It's gonna sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 you can play it until the very end. So pretty much one strum per chord. Now let's move forward to part 2 and let me teach you how to play a very cool country style right hand strumming. First, let me show you how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just played the 4 first measures of the song. Let's break it down so you can follow too. So this pattern is a very typical Western country pattern, and you can use it in every song that has a bit of country flavor in it. So this one is more like a hybrid pattern because it has a bit of finger style as well as strumming. So it's a combination of both. So let's break down the technique into 2 levels. So the first thing you want to do is pluck the 4th string with your thumb and then strum downwards. Let's do it again. 4th string, downwards. Make sure to strum with these 4 fingers. Make them very relaxed and kind of brush off on the strings. Just go down very gently. And make sure to have your wrist, this area, pressing very gently on the body of the ukulele right above the bridge. Thumb, strum, thumb, strum. And then we have a little variation. So first of all, we pluck the fourth string down and then strum. And the second time we go to the third string and we do the same. Pluck the third string and strum downwards. When we're strumming downwards, trying not to strum all the strings, right? It's a bit too rough. So what I'm trying to do is to differentiate between the higher strings, and the higher string is the fourth string, and that's the string that's being played with the thumb. So keep it for the thumb. The rest of the strings 1, 2, 3, is for the fingers to strum. So try to differentiate those two. So when we put it together, it's gonna sound like this. Fourth string, strum. Third string, strum. And again. So actually, this is already a very cool strumming, which you can use in this song. So now try to follow the chord progressions in the song with this strumming technique. So what is important to mention is how many repetitions we need to play of this pattern for one measure. So one measure, we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in. And for the right hand, you'll have to play this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That was your first measure of the song. That was the C chord. After that, we go straight to the AM. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we have two chords in one measure. That means we split the pattern in two, and it's gonna sound like this: 1 and 2 and then going to the C, 3 and 4 and, because the pattern is repetitive. And now let me teach you a very cool variation to this pattern. So instead of playing 4 strum down, 3 strum down, we're gonna add some up strums, and it's gonna sound like this. So after every strum down, we're gonna quickly strum upwards. So follow me here. Plucking the fourth string and then down, up. Try to loosen your fingers as much as possible. And then we do the same thing from the third string. Plucking the third string and down, up. When I'm going up, I'm more using the index finger. Somehow it makes more sense. Now let's try to play it without stopping, just over the C chord in rhythm. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can always pause this video and practice it for a few minutes. Now let's try to play the whole song with the strumming that we just learned. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's move on to part 3, the melody. In this part, I'll break down all the sections from the verse chorus, and the bridge. So we're gonna take one section at a time until you get it right. So let's begin with the verse. So first of all, I want you to pay attention to the rhythm. Let's look at the first measure. So in the first measure, we have a rest on the first beat, and that means your melody comes on beat 2. So there is nothing happening on beat 1, only the accompaniment. So basically the chords start on the 1 and the melody enters on beat 2. So let me put the metronome clicking on quarter notes, and let's try and play the first measure together so we get the right rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now it's very important to understand this rhythm because you will see it in many measures within the song. So now let's try to play the entire verse with the running tabs. Ready? Let's do it. 3 and 4 and 1. Now let's move on to the chorus. So something that is important to work on in the chorus part is the connection between the lower position and the higher position on the ukulele. There's quite some jumping going on. So let's break it down. So the first note in the chorus is fret 7, and I like to play this one with my pinky. By the way, use your right hand thumb to pluck all the notes of the melody. So I'm using my pinky for the 7th fret, plucking it again, going to the 3 with the index, going to the 5 with the middle finger, 7 with the pinky, 5, 5 again with the middle, 3 with the 1, and then I'm switching the entire position up. So my index finger goes to fret 7, and that's where I plug the string, 7, 10 with the pinky, and going to the 12th with the pinky again. So it's a very high position. I'm going pretty much high up the neck to the 12th fret. And now that we figured out the fingers, let's try to play this part with the running tabs. Ready? Let's do it. Chorus with a pickup from measure 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And now let's learn the melody of the bridge. So let's talk about the beginning of the bridge and let's break down the rhythm. So this measure starts with a break on the 1. It's an 8-note break. So basically your melody starts on the upbeat, 1 and it's gonna sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So as you may have noticed, the first note, fret 3, was plucked after the 1 and. So in this part, I pretty much have 4 fingers, 4 frets position, where my index finger is responsible for fret 2, middle finger responsible for fret 3, ring for fret 4, and pinky for fret 5. So it all depends what the melody is, and the melody is 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 5. So I didn't use my middle finger at all because I didn't have to press on fret 4. Later on, when I move to fret 7, I do it with my pinky, and I call it an extended position. So here I'm using my pinky, 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 middle, middle, index, index. And for the next measure, I keep going up even further, and that's where my pinky is pressing on fret 8. Now that I gave you a few ideas for your left hand fingers, let's try to play the bridge with the running tabs. Ready? Let's do it. 3 and 4 and 1. Good job. So now we learned all the parts, and it's time to put it all together and play the song entirely. And if you're practicing the chords and you don't know how to finish the song, you can simply strum the final chord downwards, and that's how the song ends. So in this playback version, I will put everything together so you'll hear the melody and the accompaniment, so pretty much 2 in 1. And the playbacks after this will be -1, which means I'll be playing the accompaniment while you play the melody, or the other way around, where I'm playing the melody and you're playing the chords. So are we ready to play? Let's do it. 2, 3, 4, 1. And before I will leave you with the 2 remaining play-alongs, I want to ask you to support this channel by clicking the subscribe button. This way you will be up to date with all my latest videos, so make sure to do that. And here is something else. If you want to spice up your playing to a whole new level, make sure to check out my Patreon. That's where I release weekly live stream classes, replays, tabs, fingerstyle arrangements, and much more. By the way, you can find this full fingerstyle chord melody arrangement and lesson on my Patreon too. So make sure to check it out. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Have fun jamming with this song. I'll see you next time. Here comes the play along. Cheers. Bye bye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Two, three, four.